Have you ever felt that invisible weight on your shoulders? That constant, low-humming anxiety that isn't about your health, your job, or your relationships, but about money? It's the feeling of being trapped, isn't it? I know that feeling intimately. For years, I was living in a financial prison of my own making, chained by mistakes I didn't even realize I was committing. Today, I'm going to share the raw, unfiltered story of my biggest money blunders and the hard-won lessons that finally unlocked the door to financial freedom. This isn't just my story. It could be your roadmap out. It all started with what I call the illusion of wealth. I got my first decent-paying job right out of college. Suddenly, I had a real salary. The numbers in my bank account looked bigger than I'd ever seen. So what did I do? I acted rich. I leased a brand new car I couldn't truly afford. I ate out almost every night. I bought the latest gadgets the moment they were released. I was chasing a lifestyle, not building a life. My bank statements told a story of someone living large, but the truth was, I was one unexpected bill away from total collapse. I was confusing income with wealth, and that is a catastrophic mistake. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you keep. I was keeping nothing. My first wake-up call came in the form of a simple envelope. It was a credit card bill. I remember staring at the balance and my heart sank. It was thousands of dollars. I had been making only the minimum payments, a classic trap. Making the minimum payment on a high-interest credit card is like trying to bail out a sinking boat with a thimble. You're working hard, but the water level keeps rising. That's when I realized I wasn't just spending my money. I was spending my future money with a hefty interest penalty attached. I was literally paying a tax on my own impatience. That's what debt is. A tax on wanting things now instead of later. The next mistake was subtler but just as damaging. Financial ignorance. I had no budget, I had no savings plan, investing. That sounded like something for old guys in suits. I thought, I'm young, I have time. But here's the brutal truth. The single most powerful force in finance is compound interest, and its fuel is time. By telling myself, I have time, I was actively robbing my future self of millions. Every dollar you do invest in your 20s is like throwing away a $100 bill in your 60s. I was financially illiterate, and I was paying the price every single day without even knowing it. I had outsourced my financial future to sheer luck. And luck is a terrible financial advisor. The breaking point arrived on a Tuesday. The engine in my fancy leased car decided to give up. The repair bill was astronomical. I looked at my bank account. I looked at my credit card balances, and for the first time, the illusion shattered completely. I felt a wave of panic and shame wash over me. I was a high earner who was completely, utterly broke. I had nothing to show for years of hard work except a pile of debt and a broken-down status symbol. It was in that moment of despair that something inside me finally clicked. I was done. Done with the anxiety, done with the pretense, done with being a slave to my own poor choices. That night, I didn't sleep. Instead, I declared war on my debt. I created my very first budget. It wasn't fancy. It was just a simple spreadsheet. I tracked every single dollar. It was horrifying. I saw how much I was wasting on subscriptions I didn't use, lunches I could have packed, and impulse buys that gave me a fleeting moment of joy, followed by weeks of regret. Seeing the numbers in black and white was the harsh medicine I needed. This wasn't about deprivation. It was about intention. For the first time, I was telling my money where to go instead of wondering where it went. I was finally taking control. Next, I tackled the beast, my debt. I learned about the debt snowball and debt avalanche methods. I chose the snowball method, listing my debts from smallest to largest. I paid the minimum on everything, but threw every extra penny I could find at the smallest debt. When that first small debt was gone, the feeling was incredible. It was a psychological victory. It proved to me that I could do it. I took the money I was paying on that cleared debt and rolled it onto the next one. Slowly but surely, the snowball grew and my debts began to melt away. It took 2 years of intense focus and sacrifice, but the day I made my final credit card payment, I felt a lightness I hadn't felt in a decade. With my debt gone, I turned my attention to the future. I finally started investing. I didn't try to pick the next hot stock. I didn't day trade. I learned about the power of low-cost index funds. I automated my investments, so a portion of my paycheck went directly into my investment account before I could even touch it. This is the secret weapon of wealth building. Pay yourself first. Not what's left after spending, but the very first bill you pay each month is to your future self. It's a simple shift, but it changes everything. You go from a consumer to an owner. You're no longer just working for money. Your money is starting to work for you. So what's the lesson in all this? Financial freedom isn't about being rich. It's not about a number. It's about having options. It's the freedom to leave a job you hate, to handle an unexpected emergency without panic, to design a life based on your values, not your bank balance. It's about peace of mind. The mistakes I made, lifestyle inflation, ignoring debt, financial ignorance, they all stemmed from one core problem. I was living for the present at the expense of the future. I was chasing short-term validation instead of long-term security. The path to financial freedom is a system, not a secret. First, track your spending and create a budget. You cannot manage what you do not measure. Second, aggressively eliminate high-interest debt. It is an anchor dragging you down. Third, build an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This is your buffer against life's curveballs. And fourth, automate your investments. Pay yourself first and let compounding do the heavy lifting over time. It's not glamorous. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but it works. It is the proven path. My journey from being broke and stressed to financially secure wasn't overnight. It was a process of unlearning bad habits and building new, intentional ones. It was about choosing future freedom over present gratification. If you feel that weight I described at the beginning, know that you have the power to lift it. It starts with a single decision to take control. It starts today. Thank you so much for joining me and listening to my story. I truly hope it provides some value and inspiration for your own journey. If it did, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel for more content on building a life of financial freedom. I'd love to hear about your own experiences in the comments below. See you in the next video.